And one
Can you cool your mind?
one thing to note also is getting back to that, the limited use of seating in the restaurant area. From a building code standpoint, if the seating is limited to less than 50, so 49 or less, the occupancy from a building code standpoint is a business occupancy, no different than a professional office and so forth. Once you go over that 49 and it's 50 or more, you become a public assembly. You become a restaurant from a building code standpoint. So
you're going to do
That's the building inspector's department.
right.
Whether it's sprinkled or not, or
Correct.
whatever
Correct. Now,
change in codes.
and building code and planning are two completely separate things. So obviously.
Are you going to do the takeout thing? Yeah.
So what do you prefer the board?
He's feeling us out. That's the terminology we use.
I just want to get your pulse on your feeling on this project, and I also want to, can I submit plans to Ed, or do I need to come to the planning board?
Board members, this is a change of use. And look to the other projects we just recently dealt with or dealing with. It's a permitted use in this area. Is that correct, Michael?
Yes.
So as far as the busyness of the property, the Cashmere Bazaar out, and then where's Bliss in here?
Bliss is right on the corner.
What's gonna happen to them?
Bliss is still there. Bliss
And they'll remain, they're not affected? They're not affected. And then upstairs,
There's two apartments.
and so they're not, that stays the same?
That's right.
Okay.
The only thing you do is changing the use for the square footage that's there. That's what, 1,730 feet, something like that.
That change the facade.
Yeah, 551 of that, which is
currently retail.
casual, would be mercantile or retail, and then the rear was previously used for office. Tom Marino's office was in there.
Right.
So you're saying you're going to have 1,000 square foot kitchen?
And takeout.
And takeout, no, I didn't say what it's for.
And restrooms.
And the door.
Additional restrooms. Okay, fine.
So where will the takeout, will there be a separate entrance for that, or?
Front door.
No, they'll come in the front
Okay.
door and...
That'll be good to drive in.
Not like drive.
I guess you could look at it very similar to over by, is it CVS over by the old Brandon? Same thing, you come in and there's takeout up front and then there's seating behind, so probably a similar situation.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Drive-through, you
Take your boat on the Rio Grande, baby.
Drive up, window for your boat.
You're going to lease out gondolas, huh?
Under the building.
so,
But you're not changing the facade of the building anyway. Front door,
and this is architecture.
Not that I
In the
know.
architectural design district?
Front door,
I
maybe.
mean, you're saying nothing's going to be changed on the outside?
No,
If there is, it's another procedure we'll have to go through.
no additional windows, everything's staying identical.
Just a lock.
Correct.
And the hours of operation?
We're thinking like 11 to 10.
Can I please have your name for the record?
Chu
Cheng?
to 10.
Chu Cheng?
I'm thinking 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Daily, like
Seven days a week?
yeah, 7 days a week.
Daily.
Yeah.
Daily.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be strictly your restaurant. Will it be a bar or a service bar?
Liquor?
Will you be serving alcohol?
No.
No alcohol? Okay. You serve alcohol?
Yes.
I'll take that question in. No alcohol?
Yeah,
No alcohol, right?
alcohol. Okay.
We'll ask it again.
I guess you might not go there.
All right, board members, this is a change of use, which is permitted in this code or in this CS district. What would you like to do?
I think you just said it right there. Change of use is permitted in this district. No alcohol being served. I'd like to see a footprint of what
plans to see it.
Well, something, tables, or something, show what dimensions are, bathrooms, size of bathrooms.
Okay.
I think if that's the direction you go for your file, you should have the same two tables that we required the other applicant to produce. One is take stock of what was there on March 9th, 1998, what the code, what those uses required in terms of parking, so on and so forth. That answers the non-conforming protection section, and then look at what's there now versus this to show that there's no significant difference in what the demand is. You can call me.
Yeah, I'll show you the table.
Because I think you need to have something in the file to show the
Yes.
justification for what you're doing.
Which part?
Your answer should be that.
Well, which part?
What?
Because we addressed an actual floor building plan, and then we talked about bulk table.
Well, it's a change of use,
Okay.
and as a result of the change of use, are there going to be additional people there? What is the use? In other words, what's the volume going to be? Is it going to exceed the 1987?
1998.
1998?
I'll send you a copy of the letter, and then you can see what the table in the other file is like.
One other item relative to that is on the rear of the building is an existing staircase. We want to replace that staircase, and the replacement is, we'd like to make a little more code compliant. However, it wouldn't infringe upon the property line. Again, it's an open staircase, because what's there now needs to be replaced.
Look at that section 8.3.2, I don't think that's a problem.
You're repairing what's there, it's existing.
So existing and replacing what's there with something that's more code compliant, with just a little bit wider. Right now, it's probably about 3.5 foot, and we're looking at 4 foot or so. Again, there's plenty of distance from the building to the property line, so there's no infringement on the property line.
And it's in the rear of the building?
And it's in the rear of the building.
Where their deliveries will be coming
Right.
in.
All right, board members, we're looking for a layout on the inside of the building, correct?
I would presume so, what other board members have to say?
Yeah, mostly I
Right.
wanted a comparison in use.
Okay. So the bulk table comparison. Okay.
And a layout of the interior of the building.
Yeah.
Okay?
49 seats, how many seats did you say, 49 seats?
No more than 49.
No
So
more.
they may
Yeah,
be
because
less.
what happens is once you exceed that number, you issue the sprinkler, and then it becomes a viability, I guess, as far as whether they want to go to that next step. Because once you sprinkle the building, you sprinkle the entire building.
Right.
Well, that goes back to the real change.
So they have plenty of water on here. Okay?
Do you want me to bring that to another work session or miss that?
Well, I would, you want to look at it, but you don't have it here tonight, so we're going to have to look at it next month.
Get on the agenda for next month.
For the planning board again?
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the company.
Okay.
Should be a slow meeting.
Yeah.
Then you should get on first.
Quiet.
Oh, yeah, there's a public hearing.
Public hearing, you have to
Oh, first.
Who's going, public hearing go first?
Yes, it does.
And
I
you'll
look
sit
forward to
there and
seeing
say,
you at 9 o'clock.
Thank God.
Oh, boy, look at your house number.
Take care.
Something good.
I guess we have a new.
Nice.
Even when they come back to shake it. Okay. All right, we have minutes, one review.
I wrote 2 letters on the other.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
You're prepared.
Yes.
We have minutes? I have one comment in the minutes. Sue? Page 3, halfway down, the word tank. All right, I think that, it's only an estimate, it was probably worth about $40,000.
Will you repeat that?
It says tank stuff, a tank, removal of tank. Page 3, where are we? About third paragraph below, it says 7, it indicates, the current owners had a underground tank removed, an underground tank. Okay. Thanks. Any other comments, board members?